Shifting focus to some international news, Russian President Vladimir Putin's big claim on Ukraine crisis, echoing Trump's assertion that Russian President said that the crisis in Ukraine might have been prevented if Donald Trump was in power at the time, saying he was ready to talk with the new US President about the conflict. However, the president noted that Zelensky's ban on dialogue with Russia makes possible talks illegitimate. This is the latest breaking news coming in that US President Vladimir Putin has said that crisis must have been averted if Donald Trump was in power.
I'd like to say that Russia never refused to come into contact with the United States administration, and it is through no fault of ours that the previous administration refused to communicate. I always had business-like relations with the previous US president that were very business-like and pragmatic, but there was trust as well. Now, if he had been the president, if the victory wasn't stolen from him in 2020, maybe the Ukrainian crisis that arose in 2022 would have never appeared.
Akansha Swarup is joining us on the broadcast. Akansha, what reasons that Russian president give for believing that the Ukraine crisis could have been prevented if Donald Trump was in power?
Right. I think what is very interesting, Kaveri, is that he's gone on to said that if victory was not stolen from him in 2020, which are unfounded claims, of course, he's echoing what the Republicans and Donald Trump himself have been claiming so far, something that also translated to the January 6th Capitol Hill riots, which have, of course, changed U.S. history as far as democracy is concerned. But these are unfounded claims. But that also goes on to indicate Vladimir Putin's own trust in Donald Trump when he's saying that, there would have been no Ukraine crisis had Donald Trump been in power. Having said that, remember, Donald Trump had assured that soon after he takes oath, within 24 hours, he'd put an end to that crisis. And even though the Kremlin has shown its willingness to go ahead with talks with Washington, there has been no clear indication coming in from Washington. And that is what Vladimir Putin has also indicated, that they are ready for talks. Nonetheless, important to highlight that in his interview to Fox, the newly appointed U.S. President, Donald Trump had also talked about slapping sanctions as far as Russia is concerned. And that looming threat, of course, is very much there of tariffs, something he also reiterated at the ongoing World Economic Forum in Davos. So not just Russia, but all of the European Union are currently bracing for that threat of tariffs. And that is why the Russian president has also gone on to say that he's not expecting the United States to slap tariffs, because that's only going to, in fact, end up hurting the U.S. economy. And so we see a very vigilant Russian president over there. He's also sort of being very polite, but there's a silent caution, because both ends will end up losing. This is the kind of messaging that he's sending out if Donald Trump goes ahead with the tariffs. Donald Trump has also sort of hardened his stance when it comes to Russia. This development happened soon after the Russian president and the Chinese president Xi Jinping went on a phone call shortly after Donald Trump's presidential inauguration. So we'll have to see how Washington would like to take this forward with Moscow.
Right, Akansha, thank you for all that information.